So, today, you guys are going to join me on a little adventure. I got a text message from my wife, and she says the check engine light is on in her Jeep. So, we are going to go pick up her Jeep and see if we can figure out what it is. And I figured I'd take you guys along. More than likely, the first thing I'm going to do is check the gas cap, because in the Jeep Liberties, the gas cap thing is known to set off your check engine light, meaning if your gas cap is not clicked, 3 times or something like that, it can set off the check engine light. So I'm going to start with that, see if it clears, and then if not, I think we're going to go to AutoZone, because I do not have an OBD reader, the diagnostic reader, trouble code reader. So we'll go to AutoZone, let them do their OBD thing and tell us what the issue is. And if it's something that we are capable of fixing, then we're going to fix it hopefully today and see what happens. So I'll catch up with you once we pick up her Jeep. And I haven't really shown much about her Jeep. It's a 2006 Liberty, 65th anniversary edition, 3.7 liter V6. So we'll go see what's up with that. All right, so I am in her Jeep. I did not start it yet. All I did was put the key in the ignition. Check engine light should be over here somewhere. And yep, it is on. This Jeep has 165,000 miles on it. Sorry, the video is kind of sideways. And seatbelt lights, obviously I don't have my seatbelt on, but I'm going to take it first. I'm going to get gas in it, drive it around for a little bit. It does have a little over half a tank, and see if we can get that to clear. If that doesn't clear, then we'll stop at AutoZone and get the code read. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we topped off the gas tank, and we have a full tank. The check engine light is still on, so we are going to, at this point, proceed to AutoZone and have them run the OBD scan tool, see if they can tell me what codes it is. All right, so we're at AutoZone, and it turns out the code was a random misfire code from the crankshaft position sensor. So we have a new crankshaft position sensor, and we're going to go home and replace that. There's going to be a delay, which you guys won't know in the video because it's right next to the exhaust. And once I get this home and get it pulled up on 2 ramps, I'll have to obviously let it sit and cool off a little bit, because yeah, I don't want to be under this one. It's, 400 degrees under there, if not hotter. So we got our crankshaft position sensor, and I also got a bottle of sea foam to throw in the gas tank, help clean that out a little bit, clean out some of the fuel stuff, and hopefully run through the injectors as well. So yeah, we're gonna go home and do a crankshaft position sensor on an 06 Liberty. This is a first for me. Yay. So the crankshaft position sensor is basically just an electric, like a node, and there is a trigger wheel inside the block that spins, and it has notches in it. So when it hits these notches, it creates a pulse through that metal sensor there on the end of this. So the pulse goes through the crankshaft position sensor to the PCM, which is the powertrain control module. And from the powertrain control module, it combines with all the other sensors related to the drivetrain. And that is what makes, basically that's what makes your engine run, so to speak. Makes it run efficiently, make sure that the timing is in check, and everything that's electronically controlled in these modern vehicles is a combination of sensors going through a computer, and then a computer telling the engine, or you know, the fuel injectors how long to fire, when to fire, and things like that. So it's an important sensor. I've never ever replaced one before. Battery's disconnected and we're ready to go underneath. It takes a 13 millimeter for the bolt. So right now my primary objective is get the old one out, and then we'll get the new one prepared to go in. They say you have to be really careful about it because it's a plastic sensor, and from the constant hot cold, and consider that this Jeep is 13 years old and it's the original sensor. That plastic is probably really brittle, so we gotta be very careful with removing that. If it breaks off, it's gonna end up in the oil pan, and then I gotta take it to a garage. Because to get the oil pan off of these Liberties, you have to unbolt the motor mounts and raise the engine up to drop the oil pan. So we don't want to go there. Really don't. So we'll go underneath and we'll start. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see. I never charged my light. I have an old fire department box light that I use, and my work light's busted. So I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but I'll try my best so you guys can see exactly where it is and the removal process. At worst, you'll see roughly where it is. You'll see the old one out, the new one in, and hopefully the check engine light will clear. We'll find out. So let's go. Okay, hopefully you can see a little bit. We are right underneath the front axle. There's the oil pan and the oil drain. Come straight up, and right there it is. See that electrical connector, the gray one? That's what we have to take out. So again, I'm under the right side. There's the driver's side tire, there's the pumpkin, oil pan, and the sensor. Okay, there it is. And right there by that C, you will see the hole and the bolt hole. That's a little better. So directly under the C is where the sensor goes, and about the 2 o'clock position from that is where the bolt goes. Now for some reason I'm having an issue disconnecting the old sensor here from the wiring harness, and I'm not entirely sure why. So yeah. I don't know what the deal is, but we'll find out. Okay, so there's the old one and the new one. A little bit of motor oil on it. You can tell it got hot. Obviously it's inside of the block of an engine. And so really the install is very simple. As you can see, it's a direct replacement. The only thing that I'm going to do is take a little oil, rub on this O-ring, and a little bit of the plastic here. So if I put some oil on that, it should help it slide into that hole a little better. The other thing to do is get yourself a paper towel and try to clean that hole out a little bit. And then it's just simple. You put it in, you bolt it in, make sure that it's sitting flush, you know, make sure that it's pushed all the way in, and like I said, tighten your bolt to 21 foot-pounds, or you know, good and tight but not overly snug, and connect it, connect your battery, and you should be done. So we'll get this new one in and get catch back up from there. Alright, the new sensor's in. Right here's the connector part. On the back side here is the bolt. And right now I'm just tightening it by hand. As tight as it will go. And then I'll get my 13mm socket. I prefer to use sockets versus crescent wrench, but that's just me. Alright, we're back up top. New sensors in. All we got left to do is connect the battery and see what happens. So do that German torque, guten tight. There we go. That back on. Here's our negative. And I always like to coat the negative with dielectric grease. I mean, the positive is underneath that cover, so don't worry about that too much. But this one here, you know, I just put a general coating around there. And then down here on the barrel, the post, a little bit on that side. And a little bit on the other side. Okay. Alright, moment of truth. And it's out. Alrighty. That's awesome. So all I got to do now is just test drive it a little bit and make sure it doesn't come back on, and we'll be all set. Sweet. Well guys, I forgot the GoPro at the house, so I have my cell phone right now, which is a Droid. Gosh, I don't even remember. It's like 4 years old, but it's supposed to be pretty good video quality, so I guess we'll find out. So yeah, I'm out with the Jeep right now, and just taking a cruise here. As you can see, no check engine light. So the crankshaft position sensor fixed our problem with the check engine light, and hopefully there won't be any more issues with the wife's Jeep. And you know, when I went to AutoZone, the guy brought the OBD reader out, and he goes, "Hey man, if you like to have butterfly seat covers, that's none of my business." And I had to laugh a little bit because you know, butterfly seat covers and butterflies stickers on the back window, just not really my style. But anyway, so it's working good, and I guess that's it. So thank you guys for watching. I know it was really tough to get video underneath the Jeep, but I did the best that I could. And using my phone here is really, really weird. I don't know how people vlog using phones. It just feels weird to me. But anyway, if you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and enjoying the last days of summer here before school starts again, for the younger crowd. And stay tuned for some more videos. We'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.